I believe next year is the year for that fight. I'm gonna travel to the UK and fight him out there in his hometown, or his home country. It doesn't matter. That's a fight that people want to see, and people are gonna be excited for that when it comes.
He's the guy that most people are telling me I can't beat. Like, he's the guy that most people are pointing at and saying, well, he's gonna beat you. So he's the fight I want.
I've seen, just little clips here and there. He's a slick fighter, but I've also seen that he's been hurt, so it'll be a very interesting fight.
The fights are there to be made, and I'm willing. I'll be the first person to put my hand up. I want the next, the first, the best, the biggest. I'm an easy person to make a fight with. Just ask Eddie.
Big fights. Martinez, he's running scared. Bam Rodriguez, you promised me the fight next. Come and get it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KB with JusDueBoxing, back with another video, man. So what y'all just heard was Showtime Sonny Edwards and Jessie Bam Rodriguez discussing a potential fight with each other, and both of them basically seem willing and ready to take on the challenge and fight each other. Now as of last night, which was Friday night. Showtime Sonny Edwards had a fight against Felix Alvarado, in which he won by unanimous decision. And, immediately after winning, he got on the microphone and he called out, Juilo Cesar Martinez, as well as Jessie Bam Rodriguez. Now, his fight alone, I thought it was a good chance he might get caught and get knocked out, because Felix Alvarado came into the fight with 38 wins, 3 losses, but 33 wins by KO. And Sonny Edwards was just coming in with just 18 fights with 4 KOs. But nonetheless, he boxed a beautiful fight. He boxed smart. He's just 26 years old. He's 5'3" with a 60-inch reach, orthodox fighter. He did what he had to do against Felix Alvarado. The scorecards was 115, 113 twice, 116 to 112. So he definitely won on all 3 judges' scorecards. And he won convincingly, although the fight was competitive. Alvarado was never able to mount any kind of offensive attack that would win him many of the rounds. He continued to lose round after round. And Sonny Edwards used his athleticism, his quickness, his hand speed. He picked his shots well. He pretty much, boxed his way to a decision, and he retained his IBF flyweight belt. Now, with him calling out Juilo Cesar Martinez, I thought that was interesting. Martinez is 18-2 with 14 KOs. He's just 27 years old. He's 5'2" with a 64-inch reach. Last time he fought was March 5th. And that was a unanimous decision loss over Chocolatito. It was a bad loss for him. He lost convincingly. He didn't win many rounds, if any. The scorecards is 116 to 112, 117 to 110, and 118 to 110. Easy win for Chocolatito. Roman Gonzalez was, just too much for Cesar Martinez. And Martinez is a bit one-dimensional in a sense. Like, he's a straight come-forward fighter, and he just likes to load up and throw a bunch of power shots. And that kind of attack, is just not going to work on a guy as experienced as Chocolatito. And same thing with Sonny Edwards. I think if they were to fight, Sonny Edwards would be able to outbox, Cesar Martinez, because of his one-dimensional style and just come straight forward. I don't think, that would be enough to dethrone the young, hungry Sonny Edwards. But when we talking about Bam Rodriguez, now we talking about a whole different level of fighter. And one thing I always speak about in boxing is its levels. And again, when we talking about Jessie Bam Rodriguez, it's levels. And he's 17-0 with 11 KOs. He's just 22 years old. He's 5'4" with a 67-inch reach. He's a dangerous southpaw. His last fight was a unanimous decision win over Israel Gonzalez, who was a tough opponent and definitely came to fight. He made, Bam go into his bag a bit, and the fight was very competitive, although Bam was winning the majority of the rounds. And a lot of people agreed that Bam won, but then you had some argue that he lost, and that the scorecards, didn't indicate what actually happened in the fight. The scorecards is 118 to 109, 117 to 110, 114 to 113. A lot of people feel like that 114, 113 card was, a clear indication of what actually took place in the fight. They feel like the other two cards were too wide of a gap. And I can understand that to some degree, but at the same time, people need to learn to assess fights better. You know, sometimes you can be competitive in every round for 12 rounds, but if you lose them all, the scorecards is going to be you losing by a wide margin. That doesn't mean you didn't compete and you didn't do well in the fight, but you just wasn't winning the rounds. And I think that's something a lot of people kind of, you know, seem to forget, or it gets lost in translation when they're watching a fight in real time. But you got to learn how to assess what you're seeing. And just because a guy is competitive don't mean he's winning. And that was the case for Rodriguez against Gonzalez. And like I said, but you know, with Bam Rodriguez fighting Showtime Sonny Edwards, man, I just don't see Sonny Edwards beating Bam Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is levels above Sonny Edwards, respectfully. I think his feet are very educated. They're better than Sonny Edwards. I think he can compete with him in terms of speed. And even if Edwards would have a slight edge in speed, you know, Bam makes up for it in timing. He has some of the best timing for a guy that's only 22 years old. He picks his shots very well. He mixes his shots up very well. He changes levels. He's very smart. He's very offensively creative, and just a very smart kid. And I think this would be, you know, the time where Showtime Sonny Edwards meet his match. You know, I just don't think he will walk out of this fight victorious. And it's a high possibility, a good possibility that he could get stopped. You know, Bam Rodriguez, like I said, is very offensively creative. You know what I mean? He has great angles. His feet, or he has some of the best footwork for any young fighter that's under 25, in my honest opinion. And I think this would just be a tough fight for Sonny Edwards. I think he can be competitive. He's young, hungry, and he has skill. But I think Bam is a lot more craftier, and I think he's levels above Sonny Edwards, if we're being honest. And I think if they fought, it'd damn sure show that. You know, the fight will play out exactly the way I think it would, you know, in terms of Jesse Bam Rodriguez pretty much dominating Sonny Edwards and making it look easy. But at the same time, I could see the fight being competitive, but then at the same time, you know, just because you're competitive don't mean you'll win the rounds. And I could see Bam winning this fight convincingly in a competitive fight, if that makes sense. So I hope he responds to the challenge. You know, Sonny Edwards do hold a IBF flyweight title, so you know, hopefully Bam will be looking to probably move back down into, you know, 112 back to flyweight and challenge this guy. You know, Juilo Cesar Martinez coming off a loss. Maybe he might want the challenge, but nonetheless, I think if Bam was to take this fight, I think it's a much more tougher fight for Sonny Edwards than Juilo Cesar Martinez, simply because of the styles and the levels and skill. You know what I'm saying? The levels and pedigree. You know, but that's my thoughts on it, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about Showtime Sonny Edwards calling out Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Juilo Cesar Martinez. And let me know who y'all got winning. And as always, get in that comment section and let me know if I gave Showtime Sonny Edwards, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and Juilo Cesar Martinez their just due. That's all I do over here at Just Do Boxing. To the next one, I'm out. Peace.